It's no secret. It's plain to see. I love you, and you love me. It's no secret. You know it's true. You love me. I love you. The only time we seem to meet is in the middle of the night. Only then can I feel your heartbeat. Till something's not right. Together I see you and me, always and all time. But not everyone would agree. To them it's a crime. It's no secret. It's plain to see. Yes, I love you, and you love me. And it's no secret. You know it's true. You love me. Yes, I love you.
Ready?
Hello, everyone. We're just waiting, giving a few minutes just for people to come on, and then we'll get started.
Well, you know how it is. We don't like to wait too long. We like to start on time. We got Stacy in here with us, so we don't want to
Oh,
keep her
hi,
waiting too long.
Stacy. How are
Hi,
you?
Stacy. How are
Welcome.
you? Welcome.
So we're actually simulcasting tonight on YouTube Live. So we thank everyone who's joined us so far, even on YouTube Live. So we're going to talk a little bit tonight about beneficial bugs. I think I'm picking you up on your mic too.
I think you're.
I think you are.
Well, y'all, we're going to pause the mic for a second. I'm going to move over a little bit and we'll get this thing worked out. But Stacy, you stayed with us. We love. All right, we have a few more people in the house tonight. That we figured it out. We figured out why we were being double heard, but we're back now, and so thank you all for joining us right here on Fireside. We're getting ready to talk about some beneficial bugs tonight. So Trina, you ready?
I'm not ready because we're still echoing. I can't hear.
All right, I am ready.
Down.
All right, so you got your mic on?
No.
Turn your mic on, and then we can get started. Or we're just gonna roll with it. If it's a little echo tonight, we're gonna just roll with it. All right.
All right, let's go. So, welcome to Gardening with Cat and COY. I'm Cat. That's COY. And we are a husband and wife duo. And we love to show what we do as far as gardening and sharing with everyone in the world today. I'm lost for words today. I don't know what's going on today.
Yeah, Yeah, well, we having a little issue with the double sound, but listen, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So once again, my name is COY, that's Cat, and we're gonna share with you our choice of beneficial bugs, and we're gonna kind of run off with a Farmer's Almanac, what they kind of recommend for beneficial bugs. Now we've been gardening for about, I say, about 3 years.
3.5 years.
3.5 years, and from that time we've learned so much. And what I've been telling everybody is that I understand that some people believe that gardening is for a hobby, which it is. But we're getting to the point now that it's going to be so important that you know how to at least grow something, know how to at least grow
Definitely.
some type of food. And we're at that point right now. So for those who still believing, hey, we could go as usual. Kind of remember what happened when the storm came,
Yeah.
and we went to the grocery stores and there was nothing there.
Or if there was, it just looked really bad.
And so what we want to do is we want to help others to be prepared for, with the climate the way it is. There's been so many disasters. A lot of things that we were expecting to come out of Florida, y'all, is probably not going to come. A lot of fruits and stuff that you were expecting from Florida and several other places. So if you are a grower or somebody who just has some questions, please let us know if you want to come on the stage and let's talk about what you're doing. But we think it's very important. We know that there is a food shortage. We do know that, and we do know, and because of all of these disasters, these natural disasters, that things are just, our food choices are going to get slimmer. What do you think?
I think so. I think that if we don't get a upper hand on what's going on, we're going to lose out. Everyone's going to pass us by. And I think growers are one of the people that's going to pass you by if you don't at least have just a small amount of knowledge. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to go to school, but just learning how to grow your favorite vegetables and herbs would really help,
help out.
And so while we have our friends on here, what are some of the things you like to grow? Before we talk about the beneficial bugs, we were waiting for somebody to come on, but tell us some of the things that you personally like growing.
Oh, look, he's asking me. I wasn't even paying attention to that.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go. That's what
I was trying to see all the friends that we have Dylan and Stacy on here. So I was trying to make sure that I welcomed everybody and make sure I didn't miss anyone. But so my favorite thing to grow would be the beans and peas family. And I also love growing herbs. So I love learning about herbs. It's something that's a passion of mine. When Coy got sick at one point in time, it really piqued my interest to get him off of a lot of the medications that he was on. And
probably those herbs that make me sick.
Just
kidding, y'all.
He didn't like pricking his finger, and I'm sure a lot of people. I remember my grandmother years ago; she didn't like that either. And so, reading about herbs and things like that, and the different benefits that they have. I was able to create a drink for him, and he was able to get off his medications. And so, and it also helps you, it promotes to lose weight. And so, those were things that we didn't expect. It was just a test to see what it would do, follow the benefits that I found on the internet. And so, continuous study and researching, and that's what I've been doing. It's just looking up different herbs and stuff and trying to figure out. My next project is figuring out how to defeat blood pressure, high blood pressure, hypertension. That's one of the biggest things that is going around now between hypertension and diabetes. And so I think that there is some herbal remedies out there that we need to look into.
Welcome, Saxon. Thank you for joining us on the show. Yeah, that was pretty lengthy, but thank you for telling us what.
I have to make sure I get all my stuff in before he takes over because he talks.
I do talk a lot, and so what I like the most, I like growing collard greens. I love growing lettuces. I love to do that on aquaponics. with aquaponics, and because we can be able to kind of not have to worry about pests when you're doing this on the inside. And so that's going to lead us right into what we're talking about. But some of the things I like to grow is your leafy greens. And I like to do that hydroponically or aquaponically, if that's the word, because I like to bring things inside because I don't like to have to deal with these pests. But since we are talking about dealing with pests, and we are people who do not like to use pesticides. If I'm gonna have to use it, it has to be something that's organic, like maybe neem oil or something like BT. Some people love Seven Dust. I'm not a huge fan.
I'm not a huge fan of that though.
But Seven Dust, if y'all want to sponsor us, I love you the most. I'm talking about
we'll let you
go
know.
buy something now. But until then, I'm not a large Seven Dust fan, but I am a neem oil fan, and I kind of use neem oil a lot with what we're doing with our traditional farming. We have an acre farm that we are growing or getting prepared to grow fall planting. Mm-hmm. So we're actually getting ready to grow collards, turnips,
mustards, maybe a little spinach. I haven't started spinach yet, but I think I might just add spinach to the crop. So and beans. So
we also have our partners, Restorative Farms. I'd like to give them a shout out. They even gave us some trays of okra. Now, I know for some people say okra is kind of late, but we're in zone 8. If you're familiar with your zones, USDA zones, so we'll still be kind of warm. Like a lot of people are a little cooler now. We're in Dallas, and our days are still at high 80s.
Yeah, we're still getting butterflies and stuff out. So a lot of pollinators are still coming out. Bees are still coming out, visiting the garden. So,
but with that, we want to talk about, we're borrowing the list from Farmer's Almanac. So you'll see me turn around a little bit. I'm going to be looking through the list. And please let us know if you want to come on and tell us about some of the beneficial bugs you like to use. We'll be on here to 7:30. And so during that time, if you like to come up, let us know. But, let's kind of giving a description of what beneficial bugs are. And according to Farmer's Almanac, which they pretty much have the same definition I would have, what they consider to be beneficial are insects that help you as far as, pollination, fighting against bad pests, things that the bugs that you'll want in your garden. I know I kind of broke it down a little bit different from what they said, but that's kind of like the everyday definition. The bugs that we want there, if I could just break it down with that. Which, things like bees, things like butterflies. Mm-hmm. But we're going to give you some that I personally use. I work at a nursery in Dallas, and these are some of the ones I personally use and I sell to customers because of what they can do for the bad bugs, the aphids, the squash vine borers, the cucumbers, the cabbage loppers, and the cucumber beetles. They're the devil, y'all.
Man.
We had rows and rows of squash. We had rows and rows of cucumbers, and I can tell you those cucumber beetles and those squash vine borers, if you don't watch them, they could pretty much shut you down.
Yeah, they come from the root on in. They go right up through that little stem and will destroy the whole plant.
But I mean, you were actually going down there slicing them.
Slicing down at the bottom of the stem, and I would go up the stem until I found it, and I would have to pull them out. Of course, I wore gloves, but you literally would pull them out, and sometimes they were babies, and sometimes they were huge.
When you use your hand like that, what you using?
They were huge,
Giant, you using the giant? I mean, you got squash vine borers this big. I'm talking about you was at Jurassic Park. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not doing it tonight.
He's already on me already.
But see, this is the good thing. People who are listening to it, they can't see my hand, so they think, So
We can't see your hand.
Oh, sorry. So the first one we're going to talk about, which I personally use. Now, Farmer's Almanac has several, but I'm going to go through all of them. But this one I am a huge fan of because the whole time I never thought that ladybugs.
Yes.
And some of y'all will get a chance to be introduced to ladybugs. They're your friends. You want to get as many ladybugs in your garden, but I didn't understand the ladybugs were aphid devourers. Is devourer a word?
They could eat a whole family.
They could eat a whole family, a whole
A whole family of what?
so
Of the
A whole
aphids.
family of what?
of the aphids. Yeah, the leaf.
The leaf.
It's
All
just
right.
weird.
It eats a lot.
Small as the bug is, it eats a lot.
Yeah, I actually got videos, so I'm gonna put it up on our YouTube channel. If you can follow us at Gardening Cat at Cat and COY on YouTube. I took a video of ladybugs actually eating aphids, and it was just so amazing because before the manager of the garden center told me about this, I was like, ladybugs eating aphids, and so I actually was able to put my iPhone up close, and you wouldn't believe how they attacked. It was like a lion around a room full of lambs.
Wow.
That's a huge description. Isn't it?
That's pretty big.
Yeah, and so, you know, I always thought these ladybugs was these cute things that just fly, and no, they're to me personally, one of the main beneficial bugs that I would want in the garden. Because, you know, we had okra out there. Aphids love okra.
A lot.
A lot.
We had the checker leaves on our tomatoes.
Yeah, on the eggplants.
Yeah, aphids, they were all over. We saw ants. When we saw ants, we knew we had aphids because, you know, they have like a relationship.
And when we first started, we did think that the ants were beneficial.
We thought the ants was helping us out.
But they weren't. They were actually helping the aphids. So
The aphids secrete almost like a syrup or honey type things that the ants love. So what the ants do, the ants protect them. So we figure, hey, we don't mind ants, but if y'all want to act like that, we got something for you too.
yes.
So ladybugs. They talk about green lacewings, but we're going to skip over that because I didn't know lacewings were good, so I was out there trying to kill
They
them.
were getting rid of everything.
I didn't know, y'all. I was like,
Yeah, we didn't know.
I was trying to shoot everything. It was like South Central out there. I was trying to.
I thought they bite like mosquitoes, so I just.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
My number two,
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
which I was selling out there at Jackson's Home and Garden as well, were praying mantis. A whole jar full of praying mantis that we would actually put on the plants,
Yes.
and they start off small. You know, you can buy these things in a cup, and you have to keep them.
And they're so cute.
And the ladybugs, you have to keep them in this cup and keep them refrigerated. And when they hatch, of course, you have to take them out. You can just spread them all over your vegetables.
Yes.
Yes.
The good thing about the ladybug, the praying mantis versus the ladybugs, a lot of ladybugs tend to fly away.
Right.
Pretty much the mantis that I put on the vegetables, because we're not spraying anything at the nursery. So the mantis that I put out there, pretty much you'll come back and they're there. We watch them go from little babies to them getting
Very
big.
big.
But
Very big.
they'll attack those flies. They'll attack the white flies. They'll get those aphids for you, and they get pretty nice size.
Yeah, they really do.
Decided
Boy,
to put a lot of plants in the
Decided to
car.
put a lot of plants in our car.
All day. I don't have no truck.
And,
Where do you
you
think
know,
they're going?
It was
But
just
that
horrible.
mantis that was in the car, that was not
Yeah.
what it was we grew.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
came
It
from.
came from him.
It came from him
that
because that thing was huge.
It was
Really huge, and it was looking. I was looking at him. He was looking at me. I was like, "What you gonna do?"
You know,
You know.
and then Coy
And
came
then
up and, you
Coy
know,
came
I
up and
walked
you know
away
I
because,
walked away because
yeah, he could have
Yeah,
the
he could have the
whole
whole
car.
car.
So I'll have a video of that as well on Garden. I think it's already on the YouTube page. But what that mantis will do, it will take care of, like I said, a lot of the larger pests that you'll have on there. They'll even attack, I believe, tomato hornworms when they're at a smaller size. And
I read that.
according to what size the mantis is. It'll attack a huge tomato hornworm. And if some of you who are growers on here know what tomato hornworms are, they're like dragons. They're huge, and you won't be able to see them. They could be right in front of your face, but they attach to the tomato
They blend in so well.
so well. I haven't tried this, but in our studying as master gardeners, we were told that you can take a night light or a black light out at night and put it up under there, and there's fluorescent, so you'll be able to see them at night. But I can tell you, they could start on a tomato plant tonight, and by the morning, they pretty much have demolished that plant. So you'll definitely want to check them. If you got chickens, the chickens love them. I pulled one today, and I kind of like put them out there, so hopefully the birds came in and grabbed them. You know, I like them to die slow, so I didn't kill them. I just put them out there.
That does not sound right.
They're eating the tomatoes.
Really?
But yeah, mantis are a hero. And then I know some of you may not like this.
Oh my goodness. Spiders. Oh.
We have
so many that have jumped out in the car when we got rid of those.
Yeah, I apologize for that.
But yeah,
one day I'll get a truck.
Now.
But until then, we have a Kia, and I've had 6 feet, 7 feet trees hanging out of the window in that car, and so we had almost like 30 plants in that car this other day, and sometimes spiders in there. But the reason why they're important, they're another beneficial bug or insect that you'll need in your garden.
Don't kill your spiders, although you may want to. Don't kill them. They really look
harmful, but a lot of times
they're just out there eating. They're ignoring you, and
they're not even worried about you.
And they're not even worried about you. So
yeah, we have them in our little greenhouse that we have, and they kind of keep the flies out. You know, one of the things I hate the most is the what is that? Not the vine borers. It's a white moth or butterfly with a black dot. When you see that in your garden, please get rid of that. But I've seen where the spiders have actually got them. And you want to check. When you see them, definitely check up under the leaf for eggs.
they come from because it's immediate.
Yeah, they have those eggs down there, and they're going to put those vine borers. So you may have other things, but they play. But with spiders, they're very important to have in your garden. You don't want to get rid of those. We only one time we got rid of a spider. I kind of regretted that. That thing was,
and he kept moving. Like we would push him out of the way, and he would show him somewhere else, and then we push him. So like the third or fourth day, we just had to get rid of him. I mean, he was really.
And when he was hidden up in our greenhouse up under something we couldn't see, we moved trays in there all the time. When we couldn't see him, you know, I like Spider-Man now. I'm a Marvel fan. I'm not DC. I'm a Marvel. Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm a Marvel fan.
Marvel,
but I ain't trying to come.
We don't want to be that close.
But spiders. Now I'm not familiar with soldier beetles.
Oh, the assassin.
But another one that we had a whole row of assassins.
They connect to each other like.
And I didn't know at the time that they were good too. I didn't know they were beneficial.
I did not.
So I was getting rid of them. Yeah, I was getting rid of them left and right.
Getting rid of those? Yeah.
Because I thought they was the kissing bug. They kiss you on your lip, and so I had already made up all kind of foolishness. And this is what time heals. You know, you're gonna get out there and learn. You're gonna make mistakes. We've made plenty of mistakes. We've probably killed a lot of beneficial bugs.
Yes.
And so now we take more of a permaculture type of road to where we want almost everything to survive.
Right.
Besides the bad pests. So we're now getting more familiar with things like assassin bugs that are actually, they let me see some of the things they attack. And we had a whole row of them on our, I think that was our black eyed peas. We had a whole bunch of assassins on there. And
doesn't really say anything about.
Yeah, but on here, I think that's the important part. People, they look like squash bugs.
Yeah.
And that's why we were killing them, because squash bugs, of course, they'll stick their whatever it is,
the little sucky thing.
They're sticking that into your leaves and different things, and they'll suck things out. But when they put that in there, it kind of puts an infection,
sucking a poison
on your plants, and they begin to die from inside in, outside in, or inside out. So I kind of confused them with baby version of squash bugs, and so we were getting rid of those things left and right. It's a mistake. And so one thing that'd be good, and advice that we can give, if you can grab your phone and get those insect identification apps, that's going to save you a lot. It'll help you. You know, some of them, they have identification for plants, fruits, and vegetables, but don't leave out the ability to have one for the insects, because we got rid of a lot.
There's an app called
Picture Insect.
Picture Insect.
Okay.
And
so yeah, you can look at that.
Wasps. Now it's some beneficial wasps. Now I try not to kill anything in our garden. So literally, I try not to.
He holds on to snakes too.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about snakes. Probably another show. But it's parasitic wasps that you can order from different places. We have them at the store where I work. But what they do is you have to order them. So we don't keep them in the store, and they'll send them to you. And what you do is you release them. So things like tomato hornworms, Japanese, beetles, caterpillars, grasshoppers. What they do, squash bugs. What they do is they'll plant their eggs inside that pest, and once the eggs hatch, well, I don't have to get graphic. You know where, you know what happens after that. And so this year, honestly, we're going to order some of those wasps because I am to the point now that I really don't want to use any pesticides, whether it be organic or synthetic. I really don't want to use any pesticides. We did have to spray neem oil, BT, things like that, because we did it was so hot. We had a bad problem with squash bugs, squash vine borers, cucumber beetles. I mean, they had made a home. And so when they left, the sun came and we were at 105 degrees. And one thing that invites bad pest, is a stress plant.
Yes. Any holes, anything. I mean, you don't have to cut everything, but if you can do some type of healing to it, and there are ways that you can heal a plant. You can cover it up with soil, and that keeps it healthy. So if you have a hole in the stem, just cover it up with some soil, and it'll be good as new.
But I'm talking about even before that. I'm talking about when a plant is stressed, like if its nutrient levels are low. So we try to make sure that we're feeding our plants at the right time. We're not overfeeding. We're not underfeeding. We're not overwatering. We're trying not to underwater. But when these pests, and there's some studies. I haven't done that study. We are Dallas County Master Gardeners, but that's not a part of the study we've done to find out how stressed they have to be. But there's people who would say that if you have healthy plants, they're able to defend themselves for some of these pests. So they're saying some of the best defense is a healthy plant. How can you get a plant that healthy? Please let me know, and I want to come to your garden.
It's an everyday learning process.
But so that's one way to fight these bad pests. Literally, are to kind of take care of your garden. So there's others. There's a whole list of others, but these are some that we've used or we're getting ready to use, especially the wasp. I've used for sure I've used the ladybugs, and we've used the mantis. And so we have an education garden at FAWC Conservatory, and our whole thing is to grow and teach the community how to grow their own food. I know we joke a lot on this show. Katrina and I, we try to go back and forth with each other and compete about knowledge. But one thing that's truly a passion for us is to teach the community how to grow their own food. I have a saying that you could teach a man how to fish, and he can fish for a lifetime. That's good. But our goal also is to teach the man how to grow the fish or how to raise the fish. And that way he can also create money for themselves. Because it's not about just teaching people how to eat, but when that food starts getting low, what do they have next? So now we're going to teach people not only how to fish, but we're going to teach them how to get those fish and create an income.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these kids on the street, once we got out there, we learned not to judge those youth because, and I'm not validating.
You get a better understanding of what they go through to get them to that point. So.
And so that's important. We love to share information. We're going to keep you with the information, little tidbits of what we've done, because we want you to share what you learned. Even if you got a minute idea, like, oh, he talked about ladybugs, let me check it out. If that's going to spark your mind to say, we want to start growing healthy food, we don't want to keep putting all these pesticides, as you see what's going on with the fertilizers. And I just found out some more information. The nitrogen, we having problems getting that from overseas. Now, because of the storm I'm hearing today, we're going to have problems getting, I think it was the potassium, I think it was the phosphorus. That a doctor talked to me about today. Whether, the news is exaggerating, that's not my problem. What I am here to do and where our goal, Katrina and I have been appointed to do by, just our own passion is to teach people how to grow their own food. So join us each week.
It doesn't matter how small, how big of the property you have. If it's just something, a couple pots on your porch, anything helps.
You saying we can? Yeah, it doesn't have to have this acre.
It doesn't have to be an acre. It doesn't have to be something huge. It could be just a planter. But also, if you're in the Dallas area, we're going to be having classes coming up soon. So definitely keep in touch with us, and we'll let you know when those classes start.
Well, how can they reach you? What's your email?
So my email,
I am KT48 at FAWC Conservatory of Arts and Science. FAWC KTPOITIER at FAWCCAS.com. So hit me up in an email. You can call me at 214-527-7662. You can look us up on the internet at FAWCCAS.com.
You need to do a commercial with you, girl. You good.
I'm trying to be.
While she's trying to be good, let me make sure I give you her real email. Her real email is Katrina Portier at FAWCCAS.com. She said KT Portier, but she was going to roll. I didn't want to interrupt her. So it's not a KT. It's Katrina, like the storm. Katrina with a K. Poitier, Poitier at FAWCCAS.com. Please send her your questions. Please send her if you want to be on the show with us. Let's talk about some food. Let's talk about some growing. I'm sure Stacy, I'm sure Delwyn, I'm Saxon. I'm sure you all have some growing stuff that you can teach us as well. We may be certified, but we don't know it all.
That's right.
Well, I know a little bit more than her, but that's not the point. We're just gonna look at the time, but we're gonna get ready to go tonight. Just a real rundown tonight.
Thank you for joining us tonight, guys.
Yes, please look up the
beneficial insects.
The ladybugs. Please look that up. And most of this is gonna be important around the springtime.
Yes.
Look up the ladybugs and look. Those are two I can recommend
It's
myself.
not so bad. Winter and fall is not too bad.
Yeah. No, we get rid of a lot of stuff when it gets cold.
Yes.
A lot of mosquitoes. Make sure you get some dragonflies out there. Make sure you have some birds out there. Things like that. So we don't want to go over. We want to try to keep the show. I know we're 3 minutes over, but we're just so excited you all joined us.
Yes, thank you.
Please share the information. We'll be back next week. We're going to probably talk about round 2 of some more beneficial bugs. We're going to take you all downtown Dallas to see some of the landscapes and stuff going on. So we want you to join us on this trip. You got anything else you want to say?
Nope.
I'm good. I just want everybody to come back next week.
All right. Peace, everybody. Where's Woody with that music? Woody, come on back to the stage. Give us a little music, and we're going to talk to you all later. All right. Thank you for joining us. Please share. And Woody is hiding out tonight. So thank you all. We'll see you next time.